Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's the guy who's going to take that Burger Boys order to go. I am Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Eviction night number 1, the BB Blockbuster. So much excitement on just what a breezy 60 minutes. This was like a TikTok of Big Brother here tonight. So excited to talk about it here. Eviction night is always the most fun night of the week, and we've got a great panel to talk about it. Back here with us, a guy who's getting ready to talk with the first player evicted tomorrow morning. It's Taran Armstrong. Taran, how are you?
Rob, I just watched a live beheading on my television.
Oh, my God. I mean, where was the lie? You come for the queen, you're going to get beheaded.
Yeah. That's what I remember Omar saying on The Wire.
Yeah. So... wow. For Zay, a quick downfall from a guy who I don't even think his name came up in the episode recap proper. I think not even until we talked about the live feeds did Zay's name even come up last night, to very quickly out of the house today.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Bad news. Bad news for Zay.
Bad news for Zay. Taran and I will get the chance to speak with Zay tomorrow morning, so be on the lookout for that one. And thrilled to have here with us to talk about it all my great friend Jenny Autumn is here. Jenny, happy eviction night.
Oh my gosh, the first eviction night. It's so exciting. And Rob, you look absolute mother tonight.
Thank you. Thank
Especially
you.
in that shirt in the background. It's all giving mother. So
Giving mother. Yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy told Julie, was that the first time that she's been called mother in Big Brother history? Was this another first?
I maybe in the diary.
Just like Zay became
yeah.
the first ever 17th placer on Big Brother tonight.
We love a
Huge
first.
news. Huge news. Yes. Okay. And then here with us for the first time in Big Brother 27, okay, a guy who's always excited and happy. It's AJ Norris. AJ, how are you?
I'm doing great, Rob. I'm super excited to be here, be back. Big Brother started. It's always an exciting time of the year. And I'm being honest with y'all. I am excited to start the trope of fit young dude get in a fight with slightly aggro mama.
Yeah.
It's been hitting. It's been hitting.
Why not? Why not?
Great.
Everyone, including people in the house, have been calling Zach the new Matt, but it turns out it was Zay all along.
You know?
They were close with the letters. It was slightly off. You know.
Yeah. Wow. So lots of excitement to talk about here tonight. We'll take your questions. No HOH yet. That'll happen later on tonight. Of course, we'll hear about it tomorrow morning. It'll be the first Puya Friday of the season. As Taran, we have a delayed start time because of the exit interview tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow, hopefully around 12:15 Eastern. But you know, it's not always on time, these exit interviews, but we'll try.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get more seconds with Zay than Julie did at the end of the episode there.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're back in like BB24 territory. Start talking about the number of seconds.
Oh boy.
All right. And then
anywhere from one Kyle to one Ashley Tower.
Yeah, exactly. This is how we measure
that's how we
things.
measure
It's
time
Kyle's,
around here.
Ashley
Okay.
Towers, yeah.
And then tomorrow we will have the first BB Q&A of the season around 2 p.m. That time may get thrown off a little bit by, could it be a very exciting live feed update on Friday? So bear with us, patrons. You've got the link for our weekly call-in show. Taran and I will take your calls on Friday at 2 p.m. coming up, 2 p.m. Eastern for that. So yeah, let's start off a little bit with Zay, and then he was such a big part of the night between that and his fight with Rachel. Taran, your thoughts on our week with Zay?
I mean, he was a very active campaigner, which I appreciated, but his big strategy, as we saw in the episode, was, you know, if you don't vote to keep me, I'm going to target you. And There really isn't right like a super important thing to say out loud, I think, generally. Especially because it was fairly obvious that he was targeting Rachel. You don't really need to add additional threats. Like,
Yeah.
even if you do make that threat, it's like, okay, well, you can say you're going to target me, but I know you're targeting Rachel. I know she's a bigger target than me. So, like, I'm not that scared to vote you out. And the fact that you're even saying that to me at all means that we don't have a good relationship. So I didn't love that tactic.
Because I actually thought he had a pretty good speech on the block. I think one of the better ones, even though he is not a good speaker, and I'm sure we'll talk about that when we get into the Rachel fight, I thought that the thought that he was presenting that, hey, everybody else, you're all safe. Rachel is my target. I'm coming for Rachel, and Amy is an extra vote for Rachel. Why are you giving her an extra vote? So keep me, let me go ahead and take on Rachel so she doesn't go all the way to the final 5. And again, he did not say it eloquently and he was stumbling all over his words, but I thought that was a good speech. AJ, it's too bad he couldn't have said this earlier.
No, truly, I think Zay's speech was actually like really good. Truly, like you said, one of the better ones because a lot of people don't love Rachel. Like Rachel is not like winning Miss Congeniality no time soon. Fair, valid. So him being like, this is my clear target. Let me do this for you. Let's take out not only one of her numbers, but to have me. I'm a competitor. I like to compete. He came in second place in that competition, as Amy said. So I think it was like a good point to make. I just think it was too late to make the point. Like the ship was already sailed for Zay at that point in time. He should have been doing like better work throughout the week of campaigning instead of, and he was an active campaigner, but he didn't do a great job at it, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the idea was definitely sound, and he did make the case to some degree. Like, hey, that was kind of the main core of the argument to take out Amy was she's connected to Rachel, and a lot of people were looking at that. It can be a double-edged sword to call somebody out in that way because if you are so clearly and adamantly against Rachel, then it almost kind of implies the opposite threat, which is any vote to keep him is a shot against Rachel directly. And if you are worried about that in any way, like Vince was, then you are maybe going to be hesitant to cast a vote, especially if you weren't sure exactly where the votes are going to fall. So I do think that argument works better privately, but I don't fault him for throwing a Hail Mary at the last minute there because he didn't have the votes anyway.
Jenny, you have any feelings on Zay?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it wasn't the most eloquent way of putting it because, again, it's kind of like the way that he was saying, none of these people on the couch are willing to do it. It's like you're almost kind of saying like you are cowards and I will do the like you need me to take the shot because you're not willing to. I think that like the point is correct, just like the delivery of it needed a little bit of work. But again, everyone's votes I think were decided at this point. And it's the first week and there were a contingent of people on two different sides, and then there were a few people kind of that were the swing votes, and you get wind of where the majority is going, and people aren't necessarily wanting to stick their neck out here for Zay of all people. And he gets a little caught up in some drama that he maybe could have been using that time more towards having some one-on-one conversations and really locking in some votes. I don't know if that would have helped, but I think maybe Rachel kind of becomes a distraction for him because it's like, don't be messing with Rachel because you know that she like what she's doing. You need to be focusing your energy and attention on these people that you see as like really key votes. So I think that is a bit of Zay's problem here. And again, the point was correct. The delivery and the finesse, not quite there. He needs a little bit of tuning.
I'd love to talk about
go ahead. Dissing Zay's hustle and energy. Like this was a close vote. Like full stop. Like literally had one of his allies and Riley voted with him. That was like a 1 vote difference from him staying and him going home this week. So they did like a good job of hustling and trying to get people on his side. Like the fact that Will voted to keep him over Amy. Yeah, interesting. So like Zay was productive. Adrian going to Rachel's face and saying, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." So I think Zay put up a valiant effort, like better than most first boots, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, and this was a big departure from a lot of the first votes we've seen over the last couple of seasons where it's very lopsided, 12-1 or whatever. But this was a vote which Julie told us infuriatingly was a 5-9 vote. And
Twice! It was driving me insane.
They were working through some issues first night back for everybody.
I love live TV.
5 votes end up being for Zay to stay, or 5 votes against Amy. That we had AJ brought up the Riley vote. Taran, can you talk us through what happened with the Riley vote? Who got to Riley, or did Riley just suss out the votes in the room?
There's no shot Riley cared about where the votes
right. Did Catherine tell him to vote out Vic Zay?
Riley is a bit out there. He told Catherine that he was there to help her win $750,000 and that he didn't care about it and that he felt the way that he felt about her and she's just going to have to deal with that. And that he would do whatever she wanted to do. We know that she wanted to keep Amy and evict Zay, and so there was a lot of reason to believe he might go in that direction. However, he also told Adrian that he would vote Amy out with him, even if it was in the minority. My running theory is either he was just lying because he kind of just does whatever he says whatever he's going to say when he's talking to an individual. Or he actually might have misheard what Adrian said about who he was voting for and thought that he was agreeing that he would vote with Adrian to keep Amy. That is actually also possible. But either way, it definitely feels like he was voting with Catherine. That's the biggest running theory at this point, I would say.
Okay. Also, we saw Kelly was one of the votes to evict Amy. Is she actually with the guys, or she just does what Vince says?
I mean,
she's anti-Rachel.
Both. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's a big part of it. And also there was a lot of talk like a couple days ago with like Zay and Kelly kind of talking together, being like, one of us is going to win. Well, I think at one point Kelly thought that 2 people win. I don't know if she really understood how the Blockbuster worked, but
she understands it pretty good if you ask me.
She does now, that's for sure.
Hey, let's save that. Let's come to that later. Yeah.
I know. Let's put a pin in that. But it seemed like she was kind of starting to work with the Zay and the Keanu to try to kind of be this counter alliance to the Rachel side of things. She's been very vocally anti-Rachel and really doesn't think it's fair that she gets to come in here and get these pieces, these extra votes. A lot of these Zay talking pieces are things that you're also kind of hearing from Kelly. So I really think that her vote makes a lot of sense here.
And then Adrian was another interesting vote that votes to evict Amy. We saw Rachel working on him. He's like, no, I can't. I have to stick to my word. Even when he votes, he says, I think it's probably not going to go this way, but I'm going to cast the vote. Do we have any insight into why Adrian is going that way?
I mean, what he said is true. He promised that he would vote to keep Kelly, and then subsequently to keep Zay as well, and essentially evict Amy. He told Amy as much. He was one of the only people that was like very open about it. And I think his strategy was, if I'm just open about it and I say I've given my word, and that gives me like blanket sort of like carte blanche to be able to vote this way regardless. Whether or not that ends up being true is yet to be seen. As far as the motivation goes, I think our best guess is that, in the preseason, he talked about wanting to work with comp beasts and then evict them at like final 7 before the final 6. And he talked in the house about like, hey, I really need Zay around because he's going to be a shield for me and he's going to be winning comps. And so that seems like probably the general idea, but whether that was a good idea for him or not is kind of irrelevant at this point because it didn't work.
Adrian really sticks to his guns.
It annoys me to all get out. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, first things first, like when Adrian used that P word to describe Julie, I just wanted to slap him. It was not okay.
I still don't know what that was.
What was the P word?
Pulchritudinous. No, pulchritudinous.
I wrote what I
Pulchritudinous.
heard and I got red underlined, so I haven't quite figured it out yet.
I asked my chat what word it was, and every single one of them was like, "Oh, Taran, it's pulchritudinous. Why don't you know that word?" And I was like, "I've never heard that word in my
Did
life."
you write a book or something?
That's
like,
not a word.
Like, do you
They
know
did say
words,
that.
bro?
They said published author, by the way.
Yeah. Do you even write, bro?
Man, I didn't cram that one into the book, unfortunately.
Damn. Next one.
Sequel.
Next one.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Sorry. Go on.
What's the question?
I had-
like honestly, that's just been bugging me for the past 45 minutes. Like it truly,
His power. He got to you.
Yeah.
it really did.
So, all right, Zay ends up having a big episode because he ends up getting into it with Rachel. And of course, Taran, you did such a great retelling of this on the live feed update from this morning with Mari for the full version of the story. But kudos to the editors, at least for getting this into the Thursday episode and not making us wait for Sunday of like what you didn't see on Thursday. So we had the back and forth where Zay was talking to Keanu, and Rachel ends up coming over, and we see that Zay had seen that Rachel was talking to all of the women, and there's a talk about what is Zay going to do if he wins HOH, and we see him get into a little bit of this back and forth with Rachel, and there's a question about who is who is Zay going to put up on the block out of the pool of people that vote against him? Rachel says, "Oh, you're coming for me?"
It's the selective. I mean, I love it. It's like the taking, part like an interpretation of what someone might be saying, and then kind of blowing it up to be a lot more pointed, and then building off of that. This did feel like, as someone who has watched Rachel on the feeds, more so BB13. I watch a lot more BB13 feeds than BB12, but I did watch a bit of both. Like, oh god, nostalgia like burst, just like watching it in real time, because he did not say like, I love Rachel, I'm so glad she's here, but he did not say I am coming for you, but he said
did, though.
he did, but he didn't say it like that. And I love that Rachel like hears, like that's what she hears, obviously, and is like, oh, so you're saying that. And then it becomes more elevated because she's now operating on like what the subtext of what she's taken out of it. And then it devolves from there. So it's great, but he is kind of just trying to explain that he's like, he doesn't need to say this. First of all, he should not be talking about this.
He has already said it. And
yes.
the extra context also that he's talking to Keanu after the the conversation she had with Keanu right before this is additionally sort of like telling in terms of where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Keanu goes to talk to Zay right after him and Rachel, and that him and Rachel have like such a weird relationship at this point too. But like he doesn't need to be talking about like, oh, I'm just saying like you might be in the group of people that I would nominate. Is that bad gameplay?
Yeah,
and she's like, you're telling me that you are going to target me. That is kind of bad gameplay.
and not that Zay is a Big Brother historian, but this is a real fundamental misunderstanding of Rachel, who does not do threats, does not do nuance, and if you're even implying that you are going to be looking at her as a nominee, she will interpret that as you are coming for her. This begins the back and forth that we get where Rachel says this to Zay.
I'd be careful coming for the queen. You will get beheaded.
You will get beheaded if you come for the queen.
Yeah. And
I mean, where was the lie? Did she call her shot? She didn't slam the door like she said she was going to.
I was very upset about that, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Is the door slammable though? I feel like it's one of those ones, like, have you ever tried to like shut a door fast that has like one of those like things at the top that keeps it from like shutting fast? Like I feel like
there's no way it's that fancy.
It is a slow closing door.
It's a slow closing door. I think it has one of those mechanisms that keeps it from slamming. So I don't know that it has the ability to slam, but I think that I believe in my heart that Rachel knows a good TV moment and would have tried to slam that door if she could have.
Listen, but
Rachel?
see, in my opinion, there's a difference between attempting to slam it and letting them leave it completely wide open as everyone's like, I wanted it to be slammed. Don't promise me something you can't deliver, Rachel.
Listen, Rachel did more than enough. There was like this big group hug. Everyone's like, let's all hug Zay. Rachel's in the side, like,
I think you're right,
I ain't even
AJ.
touching this.
She, I think, wanted to do the slam. I think the wheels were turning. How do I slam the door? And then when Zach was crying and there's like group hug, everybody. Oh, and like it was like people were so sad. I think that she read the room and she's like, oh, you know, this is going to be interpreted poorly if I like make a big deal. Yeah.
And that is growth from Rachel Riley.
Yeah, I think so. I think younger Rachel, like Big Brother 12, Big Brother 13, would have still done it. I think this Rachel is like real, like, okay, this is maybe not the right place for that.
Pick your moments.
Yeah, because when there was the group hug happen, she was just like cross-armed, like outside of the group hug. Like, I think she was like acknowledging, I will not be participating in this group hug with Zay.
Her face when Zay was making his speech was just phenomenal. Just full of rage.
Really, really great. And Taran did a great job for Zay in the edit. They actually helped Zay today in the edit because as you chronicled this morning, the Zay back and forth with Rachel was like historically like embarrassingly bad when he's getting into it with Rachel when she tells him game on, because on the TV show we just heard this.
Because guess what? As long as I'm in this house, no way you win 2 seasons of Big Brother.
Okay, all right, not bad, not bad. But Taran, that's not how it went in the real time.
No, listen, there's a way that they could have edited this, and I get it because they didn't have a lot of time and they didn't have a lot of space in the episode. But it was so funny because the thing about Rachel is that she's really bad at arguments. And while she does get a couple of good lines in here, she was also very awkward. He was also very awkward. And so there's a world where they edited this to be awkward as hell on both sides, as they're pointing out in the chat. And that would have been, I think, the best way of portraying this. But I get it. That would have required a lot of like fine-tune editing to make it work on TV. So instead, they made it a little bit more streamlined. But the one thing that does eat at me is that, man, that line from Zay, you didn't have to cut it because it was so funny. It was so funny.
Tell people what it was in case they didn't catch the live feed update and just watch the episode.
So in the episode, as you just played, he says, there's no way you're winning 2 seasons of Big Brother. But what he actually said was, because guess what? As long as I'm in this house, there's no chance you win twice in a row. Or well, not in a row, but you know, there's no way you win 2 seasons of Big Brother.
He could have stood on that if he had confidence, because technically, if she played like, you know, if she played 2 not consecutive seasons, but like both times she played back to back, she won back to back, not back to back seasons, but. You could say that is a thing, but it was not delivered well. And then he's like, "Oh wait, that does not make sense. That's not a thing."
I mean,
Angela messed up, and you just have to run with it.
Like you need to prepare. You if you're going to get in a confrontation, like prepare, get your lines ready. Get your
AJ, that was the thing, is that he spent so long thinking about it before he did it too. There was such a long pause before he said it.
But you know what? Keanu, when he said to Jimmy, well, how long did it take you to think of that? But at least, you know what? Jimmy like delivered it and nailed it. So even if it took you a long time to come up with it, if you perform the line and get it right, I don't care how long it took you to come up with it. You got it out clean.
That was a good line from Keanu, though. That was good off the dome. Although that could have also been edited to make it seem better, but it seemed good.
Yeah, but that's just so funny. Like, well, not in a row, but I mean,
I can't believe they cut, because that required more work to cut that out, and it was so funny. Come on.
There was lots of like repeating of the same sentiment back and forth. Like lots of like do you need some like milk before bed from your mommy? Like Rachel was also kind of delivering like different versions of the same line.
They're
like,
workshopping stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they were honestly they were just improving together, and you know what? I love that.
Yes,
know?
and
A
that's
yes
the
anding.
rule.
Yeah, they were yes anding like all night. It was great.
What made it so good online and on the feeds was like how awkward it was. It was this confrontation that was happening, but it's also humorous because neither of these people are talking good. Like that's part of the greatness of the argument that happened. While in the show, like as it was good, it felt a little empty to me. It was like a little bit more empty than what it could have been because Big Brother don't take themselves serious. So let's have a stupid argument to kick off the season. Like.
I'm also shocked that they I don't know if other people caught this, but they did talk about it after it happened, and I noticed it on the feeds. And this feels like peak Big Brother, so I can't believe they didn't include this. So apparently while like the latter half of the argument, while Rachel and Zay are talking again after the like game on talk, Riley lets out like a 30-second fart in the kitchen that like picks up on mics to the point that it actually did impact the moment, to the point that they were like talking about it afterwards, being like, what was that? And he was like, I was just trying to lighten the mood. Like, it really seemed like the kind of thing that Big Brother would have like included in the edit, and again they didn't. So I don't know what they're doing this season. I that felt like after we saw toilet seat cam last night, I thought we were for sure getting the Riley fart edit.
To Taran's point, I think this is happening like late night Wednesday night, so it's a quick turnaround to the Thursday show. Maybe
they talked about it for like a minute after. like I thought they for sure were prompted that this happened.
Yeah, it's just is like to get it into the Thursday show, they have to like get it ready by a certain time of day. So I think that maybe Sunday night. Maybe in the recap of the recap, we get more from this night.
Yeah. Honestly, if they had included Riley's 30-second fart, we would not have even gotten anything between Julie and Zay. So I think that it was just had to happen.
Well, they didn't promote it tonight, but they are going to have that like bonus show on Fridays every once in a while. I could see maybe we get a little bit of it there.
Okay.
Let's hope, right?
The other big story of the night is the BB Blockbuster, and all week we were waiting for the big showdown between Zay and Amy and Kelly, who put herself up on the block, and very decisively it was Kelly who came down off of the block and confidently. Taran, everybody said, "Oh, what a dummy!"
Kelly Giesling in the house. Look at that.
Yeah,
look at that. She crushed that competition.
Kelly
I mean,
Deloriers.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody else felt this way watching, but just at least from like the shots that I was getting, that seemed like a really tough competition. And she answered it like long before I had any idea what the answer was. And it seemed long before the other two had any idea what the answer was also. So like kudos to her.
Yeah, I did not even know what they were doing. I kind of spaced out during the explanation. I'm like, I'll pick it up. And I'm like, are they trying to unscramble a word? And they had to go find the crown that had like it was something with emeralds.
I think it was something like steel tiara with emeralds or something. Was the line.
There was an item, an object. Yeah.
Honest with y'all, I like the idea of this competition. I hated it in concept because I just watch these people just stand for like 15-20 seconds, turn slightly again, and then like Kelly wasn't even hype about it. She like casually just had something like, I don't know, just
she like no sold it.
I was like, oh, this was it. This was we're done.
I will say I don't think that she no sold it. Did you see that like the hand
that
on
pose
the hip?
But there was like she didn't jump up and down. She wasn't like I did it.
I think maybe she wasn't 100% confident. You got to wait for that light to turn on when you lock in. But it's hard. I think it's harder to do from home because like they're in the room and there's the 3 different screens, and I think the camera can't properly capture like all 3 like fully for you to see all, because I feel like because I was trying to play along. I love word games. I love word scrambles. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I was like, I had gotten like one word, and then and they're trying to capture like different angles of things, and then all of a sudden Kelly was walking up with a tiara, and I was like, okay.
I think that first of all, I love the competition. I think that it was exactly what we need for this spot. It's like why we were able to see everyone have an equal shot here. I think in general, how Big Brother edits their competitions is just bad. And this obviously wasn't even edited. It was like shown live. I think like a better way to do, because and so for that reason, you will never catch me complaining about this, because I never want them to go back to other kinds of competitions. But I do think that like maybe a small way that this could have been improved is if they had told us what the phrase was and like what the correct thing was, maybe have it highlighted on the screen in a wide shot, and then watch the players as we see them like, oh, have they figured it out? Oh, is she going toward the tiara? Oh my God. I think that like giving us a little bit more context would have helped make it a little bit more exciting, as opposed to she walks up with a thing and you're like, is this right? The music is playing. I guess she won.
The music was playing for like a half second, and then the music stopped playing. I'm like, oh, they made a mistake. They put the music on and she didn't actually win.
Again, we love live TV. But no, I agree. I agree with Taran, because normally I would say like, no, don't spoil it. I want to play along. It's too hard to play along, and it's confusing.
Impossible.
I would rather be able to follow who's in the lead in something like this, or who's, like doing what. And I truly was not able to do that. So I was just kind of blacking out until I saw someone walk to the podium.
You'd be able to see like who is standing closest to it right now. Do they ever look at the objects and you're like, oh my God, do they see it yet? If you see Kelly start to move toward it, you're like, oh my God, does she know? I feel like there's just a lot more that you could follow along if you know the answer to this particular and I just feel like it's small things like that I feel like they don't often think about when they're portraying the competitions, in the same way that like the veto competition in the last episode was like, how they edit veto competitions.
Yeah.
Now they have so much more time for it, Taran. 90-minute Wednesday episodes.
The thing too is that like I especially like watching The Devil's Plan recently, which is a phenomenal Netflix show. I really
is that
feel
the show where they do the outhouse challenges with the smell that you have to figure out who stepped in something?
Yeah.
What does the mattress smell like?
They have to go down into sewers too. It's a whole thing. I just feel like there's a way to edit this to edit these competitions to make them more exciting, and that's what I would love to see Big Brother put more effort into. Now that they are doing what I think are better competitions for the show at large, is now can we present these competitions in a more exciting and fun way? Because I really think there are ways to do that.
Yeah. All right, so this was a coming out party of sorts for Kelly on the show, and I had felt like all week, okay, we could lose Kelly. She's kind of giving us nothing, but I really just feel like that maybe we can work with this, like that maybe Kelly does become like this huge quirky character in this season. One of my favorite parts was the moments where that Jimmy was talking about Kelly, and then we got the flashback to all the weird things that she's doing in the house, like constantly reminding people about how Zach won the 10K, or then going up to Keanu and Jimmy. I mean, that one to me, when she went up to Keanu and Jimmy after the fight, like that seemed normal. That like they just did get in a huge fight after the veto.
A lot of them felt pretty normal to me. It really, because listen, I watched her on the feeds, and there's plenty to call her out on in terms of like her being over the top. But like, I think that what they showed us, at least, which were things that were talked about and did make her an outcast, really just didn't feel like actual faux pas as much as just she's a little strange, she's a little awkward, and because of that, she has less space to like exist and make jokes, and she has less room to like be taken at that value. Instead, it's like, oh, why are you making a joke with me? Like if it had been somebody else, it might have been different, but because it's her, it's not. And so I did sort of feel like that this wasn't like a super fair, I think, perception of her based on these events. based on some other things,
Yeah.
maybe.
But they have to cover their bases also. If she got voted out in this episode, I think they needed to also have a reason of why did the House vote her out?
And to be fair to the show too, they showed multiple things that people were making fun of her for on the feed. So these are accurate to what the other players were saying. I just feel like the other players were making mountains out of molehills on these.
Because truly only one of the things that they showed in this episode was, I was like, yeah, that was out of pocket. And because
Which thing?
Why did she touch Riley's hair? Don't touch people's hair.
I thought that too, AJ. That was the one thing I was like, but nobody talked about that thing. I was like, whoa, she just rubbed his hair.
Yeah. Yeah, everything else was literally had Zach said the same statements that Kelly said. People would have been fine, that's Zach, ha ha ha. But Kelly's just awkward. I felt bad for Kelly at that point. I was like, oh, Kelly, yeah, they're being rude. Yeah. But she lost me after here. She did lose me. I was like, you know what? Fair enough. Valid.
Yeah, I just think that
Wild
there could be
behavior.
something there with her now moving forward. And so I'm excited to see it. I also thought that when she comes back into the house after winning the Blockbuster, it was so funny that everybody is in these intense strategy sessions. And she's bawling. She's hysterical crying. And then she's doing her shout outs.
I'm having so much fun and I've made so many friends. I don't want you to worry about me at all.
Does someone have a gun behind her back?
Why didn't they
It's
cut
all
her
okay.
mic? Why didn't they cut her mic? She was talking through the entire strategy portion.
Couldn't hear anything that I kept seeing. I was like, I see Mickey and Catherine whispering. What are they saying?
Yeah.
Don't know.
She just
Kelly's
went on a
talking about
monologue like
making
she just
friends.
won an award, and then everyone's consoling her, the winner of this competition. While people are about to face eviction.
Kelly.
Hey.
What is happening here?
She's weird. She's awkward.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I truly love Rachel just not giving two craps. Rachel did not acknowledge her. Rachel's like, okay, it's strategy time. Let me make sure I get my person out. Cool for you, Kelly. I got business to handle.
It's true.
got a
We
man to take
saw
out.
her. She's she doesn't have time to congratulate the Blockbuster winner. She's got to go talk to Adrian. Adrian tells Rachel, sorry, I gave my word. I got to stick to that. And then she's like, okay, moving on. She is a woman about business. Okay, she does not have
Rachel
time
made me
for
nervous because she seemed concerned, which concerned me. I was like, the fact that Rachel is trying to pull Adrian right now, who's one of the most locked in votes, is an indication that things might not be solid right now. That's kind of a desperate play. But it turns out everything was fine.
Yeah. Well, all season last year that Julie kept asking them okay, well now is the time to strategize if you want to do it. And finally we were getting some strategy going on.
Yeah, you just had to listen through Kelly's monologue.
Yeah. So yeah, it is weird the way that they do that. They just bring everybody back in, and then Julie reveals which one it is that comes back in. So I don't know. I feel that seems I don't know if they should just let have the first one come in and let them have their moment with the group, and then the other two come in.
They should reveal it themselves, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it also burned 10 seconds that I think could be better used in the episode, to watch them announce okay, they just played in this competition and here they come back, and everyone stands up and turns towards the stairs, and then we watch them walk down the stairs, and you're looking at people's faces, and it's just waiting for Julie to say the inevitable. I'm I think we can cut this down and do things a little differently if you want to be able to highlight the quick strategy talks before the vote.
Especially when the shot is on the players that just played in the competition who already know the result, and not on the rest of the house who are learning the result for the first time. By the time we cut over, they had already known for a good 10 seconds. And I was like, well, why didn't we see the reaction?
Yeah.
But it was an exciting moment in the episode when there was so much going on there, where it was really hard to cover it all. I really was not expecting there to be such a scramble going on with everybody, where everybody was trying to talk to one another, where we talked about Rachel and Adrian. Rachel goes to work on Will. We saw Zay trying to shore up votes. He's bringing the Burger Boys over. We saw Mickey and Kat talking.
Yeah, I think Zay and Zach pulled Will, and my best guess would be that they like talked him into flipping at the last moment by saying
Like a
we
Burger Boy.
do have the votes, and he felt like they really put the grind to him and just said like, you have to vote with us. Like the votes are really close. We need your vote, and so he went with it probably last minute because he did say to Ava just today, and Ava's like seemingly his closest ally, that he did plan to vote to keep Amy in this spot. So it was surprising to see him go in a different direction. It wouldn't surprise me if it was because of that last minute push by Zay and Zach.
Taran, do you think there's any blowback on Will for voting the wrong way?
There could be. I don't think Ava will care much. I don't think that a lot of the people he's aligned will care much. Somebody like Mickey might be a little peeved. Rachel might be annoyed, especially because he seemingly just told her, I've got you. But they do have bigger fish to fry. And at the end of the day, they didn't campaign to him all that much either. So I think he can get away with this, but it's definitely, it could be a tricky spot.
I don't think he could easily play this off as I voted the way I told you I was going to vote. Because you have the Riley factor. Like he could pretend that last vote was like Riley or something like that. So I think he has room to like wiggle. But also, I feel like if he's blunt and straightforward, like Taran said, Keanu's there, Zach's there. What are we doing? We're going to waste the spot for Will?
Well, and I also think that like he didn't, he ended up being on the wrong side of the vote. But I don't think that it's in a bad way. And I also think that like, I don't know. I'm obviously like really alliance shipping Will and Ava. And I think that that's a very important connection. And there was, I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point, but like Will and Ava are also part of, an alliance. And Ava earlier today was talking with another person in said alliance with Lauren, basically being like, we're probably some of us are going to be voting in different directions today. That's fine. We're going to get it together next week and vote together. So I actually think that like someone who's important to Will's game and Ava is not going to care and is probably like, you know what? Maybe it's good that we voted on opposite sides here. Like ultimately we're okay with the result. So I'm not too worried about Will here. And I think that key people that he's hopefully going to work with are probably understanding of why he voted the way he did.
Like the way Taran has been talking on a couple of the live feed updates, is like these people making like deals like 2 weeks deals, 3 week deals, alliance things. Oh, this ain't going to be permanent. So this just feels like a flexible cast, full stop. So I think if someone say they voted one way or another, will Amy be upset with Will for a little bit? Sure, why not? But I don't think these people are the type to hold a grudge just because you voted one way or another. I think they're more likely to be like, okay, this happened, but moving forward, how do you fit in my game plan? How do this work out? And I think Will fits in a lot of people's game plan right now.
So yeah, I think there's very few people that would nominate Will because of this vote that wouldn't have nominated him without it.
Right.
Tonight we saw the creation of the alliance that Will joined, the Burger Boys, and we found out that, okay, not Five Guys, but Burger Boys, and Zay tells us that everybody is a part of the burger. I'd love to talk that through if we could for a moment.
Zach obviously is the patty. I like to think I'm the buns.
Okay, Zach is the patty. Any issue with this? Does that make sense? That tracks?
That tracks.
Okay.
To me.
I like it.
He's I mean, it wouldn't be a burger without the patty. And I feel like that is like actually like, speaks a lot to Zach is a very important piece in a lot of meals in the house right now. So I think that that's a perfect spot for Zach.
Patty!
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Now,
I'm the buns, I kind of organize everything. I hold everything together, and I'm a little bit caked up.
okay, Zay is the buns.
We know.
Yeah.
We know.
I think this also tracks because without Zay, this alliance is probably gone. But technically, all the pieces will still be working together. So it's just going to be like, like a burger bowl instead.
Like keto. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
No carb.
My dad, back when he used to go to Wendy's, he would order like a Wendy's sandwich, but with no bread. So it's just the lettuce be like substitute the buns. So you're not needed.
Okay. All right, we're 2 for 2. Now here's where maybe things start to go off the rails.
Got nice buns. What can I say? Will is the lettuce, right?
We just
I
Will
would
is
be
the lettuce, no explanation. We just
If you made me the lettuce in this alliance analogy, I would like. I don't. In fact, the fact that Zay made, well, I guess he doesn't know that. I don't know if he told Will to his face that he's the lettuce.
Will wouldn't have voted with him.
And you told me I'm the lettuce. I don't think I give you my vote. I would be so pissed. Like that's what I am in this burger. The lettuce, please.
The lettuce has to be one of the most expendable pieces of a burger, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unless you're AJ's dad.
Yeah,
like I find the lettuce very valuable. Like I can do without a tomato.
I'll do a lettuce wrap. I love it. But
I feel like a tomato.
It's not exciting.
I feel like a tomato isn't even necessarily standard, you know. But lettuce is like one of the most standard pieces that I think you could also easily go without.
But maybe Will is truly like the lettuce in that if somebody was going to be holding the Burger Boys Alliance, the lettuce is like falling out and like is not even in the thing at the time that somebody goes to take a bite.
Yeah, just like it falls out, you know, like, you know, not everybody gets the lettuce right. Sometimes it's kind of like old, you know, it's like.
My God, not the lettuce being old.
Old lettuce. Is that what, because Will's old? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ages.
I mean, it makes you feel like you're being a little healthy. You're like, you know, I'm having a burger, but I'm having lettuce on it. That's a vegetable. And you feel like, you know, having Will here just makes me feel good. This is someone I really want in my alliance. I don't know.
Will is
like,
the addition to the bro alliance that makes you not feel bad about having a bro alliance.
Yeah. They're like, he's an older guy. So
Like we're so suspicion. Why is there a 50-year-old man in this alliance? What?
Yeah. People would have really hated this alliance. But all right, but Will's in it. Okay.
Exactly.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's a little good for you. Okay. All right. Then, okay, here we go. I think this is Riley next.
Riley is the barbecue sauce.
Riley's the barbecue sauce. A lot of people were up in arms over the barbecue sauce being the fourth ingredient of the burger.
I don't feel like that's standard enough.
No, it's like Taran, you're saying, you know, like lettuce is maybe more of a standard here. Barbecue sauce is for a condiment. I feel like a very specific kind of burger, and I also feel like that burger probably doesn't have lettuce. I don't know if that says something about Will and Riley working together. I don't know if this is like setting things up here, but it is like I get it for a condiment for Riley, personality wise. You're like, oh, he's the bull rider guy. Like we're doing barbecue sauce for Riley.
Like,
get it? But it's kind of a weird choice for the burger.
Like if you're using barbecue sauce as a condiment, you're doing it wrong. Like that's not the purpose of the barbecue sauce.
Well, hear me out. Riley as the barbecue sauce does make sense considering that he wasn't actually on the burger and didn't vote with the Burger Bros.
Okay.
He was the barbecue sauce, but they did not order a burger with barbecue sauce.
So, and you're just like going with it. You're like, not the condiment we asked for, but you know what? It's got some tang. It's you know, it's kind of like ketchup, but it's a little bit zestier. That's fine. It's great.
Okay. Then let's round out the burger.
Vinny is the cheese. I can't tell you why, but it just feels right.
You know, Zay 100% nailed that. That one he did like the sandwich of this he got like the start and the end. It's just a couple things in the middle.
I agree.
Honestly, I as far as like giving people roles in an alliance and you know the analogy of it all, I gotta say like Zay did kind of snap on this. So
yeah,
it is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We haven't talked about at the eviction. Zach was extremely upset over Zay going out. And I can't remember in recent memory somebody crying this much at the eviction.
I mean, I think it makes sense. I think that like evictions, especially if you're new to the game, can really feel dramatic. It can sometimes feel like, especially, I would say, especially because of the Blockbuster, the arena competition, like most people in a season of Big Brother, they kind of know that it's coming, or that like it's a it's a very feasible result. But because of the Blockbuster, it's like, I think, especially given how Zach views players, that he really genuinely thought, even though the votes aren't here, Zay's gonna win that competition because he's a bro. Right? He's not a floater. And so the fact that Zay actually lost, and Zach is now seeing a friend of his, somebody that he feels he can relate to, is leaving the game and now is gone, and that's just it. Like, he didn't really expect it. Now that guy's gone, I'm not going to talk to him again. I think he just got hit. And I think that, I think it makes sense. And I think it's perfectly fine to express the emotion there when it happens.
April says, even Rabina didn't cry that much when Tucker got evicted.
Well, I think a couple weeks to
Were they burger boys, though?
for that being a possibility every week.
I really do think like there's something there though, where it's like she cried after, because in the moment it was a really shocking result, but like Zach kind of knew but also didn't. It's like this weird middle ground with the Blockbuster competition.
Yeah.
I will say, I believe that the sound and the body movement of him crying was very real to me, but I was looking for moisture on the face, in the eyes. I didn't see it. Maybe just the camera didn't catch it.
Do you think he faked, Jenny?
I'm not saying he faked, but maybe it was more of like I don't know if he was producing tears, but I do believe he was upset. I do.
Like, that felt like a man cry to me. Like, I'm not supposed to show emotions and feel this way and be so emotional, so I gotta hold it in. But like, it's like overwhelming. Like, but this is Zay.
Let it out, baby. Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, listen, given the response I have seen online, you understand why he'd really not want to cry in that moment, because people are donking on him.
Yeah. See, I love bro love though, so I get it.
I feel like that is an underrepresented trope in reality TV, the bro love. Like,
I guess, Taran, were they that close?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think this is your world. They've been in there for 10 days, and like, you're in that house. So 10 days is like more than a third of Survivor. Nowadays, like it can be a lot, and it feels like it's life and death sometimes, and it feels like in a house, he just was on the other side of a vote. He couldn't swing it. It feels like I just lost one of my friends. I think you don't have to be like that close. It just can be just like, oh man, that person's gone. It could also even just be like, that person really wanted to be here and their dreams were just crushed. Like, that sucks, It could be many things.
I mean, in the case of Zay, I don't think that his dreams were crushed.
Well, this dream, just a dream that became a dream whenever he heard about the show. No,
I will say, whenever Jenny leaves a Goose lobby, I do weep a little.
Oh, yeah. Now show me where your cheeks wet, AJ, because I don't know if I will fully believe it. No, I really do, like, to compound on what Taran was saying about the time spent, like, even more than on Survivor, I think, where it's like the time that they're spending in the house is like they don't have as many like tasks and to keep them busy and distracted, that like I just feel like obviously we've never seen live feeds of Survivor, but I just think that like the amount of time that they have to, like, you have lived them, to really talk and connect with people. 10 days is a big deal. So I fully believe that this is very impactful. I just didn't see tears, that's all. So for a second I was like, is this real crying? And I believed it. I just didn't see his eyes. But yeah, bro love, we love it.
Yeah, it was just a little, we've seen like hundreds of Big Brother evictions that it just seemed like a little like out of the ordinary for like a very early eviction in a season.
I do really think that the Blockbuster is playing into that, personally.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, and I think what you said also about him being like so confident, like Amy can't win a comp, like he is like so sure of like the outcome that maybe he never even considered the possibility Zay would not win the Blockbuster.
They were
I
really
think-
banking on that.
I think more so like the possibility existed in his mind, but just like didn't really like he didn't, I can imagine in his mind, it's like, oh man, like I should have like said goodbye better. Like I should have like, recognized that this was my last day with Zay, like, and now he's gone. Like that's, these people feel real emotions.
Yeah. And as much as like, people have their feelings about Zay and a big storyline of his time in the house ended up being like him versus Rachel, obviously through this episode. A lot of the common things said about Zay, especially when discussing him being a potential threat, is everyone loves Zay. So people really did.
He was a fun
like
guy.
him.
Yeah.
So I think that also plays into it. Like,
Judd
Rachel
had
was
the
not in
entire
their
house
hug.
sobbing on his way out of the game.
Right.
He had a light blue aura.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw tonight, and I really don't even know why this needed to be in an episode that was very close to going over the 1 hour runtime. The Mastermind snuck into the house.
Oh my God.
What was that?
Like,
No
what are we doing here?
explanation either, really.
But like, I would understand if we had an HOH comp in this episode, or the Blockbuster comp had something to do with the Mastermind. But like, the Mastermind's just sneaking in the house.
Yeah, and like it was such a
Went in
like
a
obviously
safe.
the Mastermind was not there while they were sleeping. Like they had to like cut it to make it seem like the Mastermind was there. So like what was the actual purpose of what they were doing?
There was like the Mastermind went in the house and like moved a painting and then opened the safe and then took something out
and caressed the safe. Don't forget that part.
pressed the safe and then like went and like stood over the people while they were sleeping and then left.
Edited to make it look like he stood over the people while they were sleeping.
Sure, but I don't even get what we saw. Like, what the hell?
Like I don't understand the purpose of it. Like, was it nightmare fuel 150%? Like, I would hate that. Like, someone break into my house and not steal anything, just look at me. Like, oh my God. Like, that's horror.
I mean, I don't mind it for like vibe setting, like we're continuing to set this sort of feeling of a haunted hotel where there's like this mastermind that's creeping over you that will continue to be your adversary. I don't hate that. It was just like the way that it was presented was just, which is not surprising, but yeah,
It was
very
so
strange.
random. And like there wasn't no build up, there wasn't no follow through. It just was there. Like, I don't get it.
It's to warn us what's to come. I don't know. Like, it's just they clearly want this to continue to be part of the theme, and they had to remind us somehow.
Yeah.
And again, limited time to do so. So they just spliced this weird.
it was super creepy.
script
That here's footage. This is the Mastermind sneaking into the house, watching the house guests. Super just disturbing. Just standing there watching everybody.
For the
Oh my
listeners,
gosh.
this is an image of Brittany from BB23.
That was funny. That's a good one, Rob. That's a good one.
So I guess
From the
stay
vault.
tuned for Sunday night to find out what's going on with the Mastermind.
Also, kind of funny that like we find it so creepy that the Mastermind might like look at them while they're sleeping. Meanwhile, there are hundreds of cameras like
Look at
staring at
yourselves in
them
the
that we
mirror.
are all watching.
Yeah, a whole community built around watching them sleep.
Yeah.
God, this freaking weirdo. He has a red face mask on, so that is the true crime here.
To be
Yeah.
fair, me staring at the live feeds at 3 a.m. in the morning versus me wearing a red mask staring at the live feeds at 3 a.m. in the morning, definitely a different
Big
vibe.
difference. Big
Yeah, don't
Don't
difference.
put the mask on,
Yeah.
Taran, I beg you.
Okay. Julie got to talk to Zay and asked him about the Riley vote. Zay was surprised, but he didn't care. We knew from night one that Julie was going to make a meal out of. So, do you want to know who the accomplice was? The completely inconsequential fact has nothing to do with anything.
I could not believe she had two questions. She had time for two questions, and the questions were about Riley and the accomplice. and nothing about Rachel or the confrontation. Oh man,
They wrote
Amy
the
was
questions yesterday,
accomplice.
Taryn.
Nobody in the house cares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought it was interesting that he's like, oh, well, maybe that's why her and Rachel, like, did Rachel know that she was the accomplice? That's why they worked together. She's like, no. Nobody knew.
He was
I like how
trying
he's
to make it relevant.
How? Of course, it's Amy. They would never put two moms in the Big Brother house. That's ridiculous.
He at least clocked.
I hate how true that logic is.
It's like, oh, they're kind of a similar archetype. So if Amy wasn't successful, like they're kind of the same space. I was like, okay, he actually kind of is like making a point here. But yeah, like I love that Julie was like trying to she wanted to play like the guessing game. Like, do you have any guesses? It wasn't Riley. And then he's like, no, can you just tell me? He's like, he did not want to play along.
They were cutting it so close. It was like 8:59 when they were having that conversation.
Julie, we're not playing the guessing game.
And also, I mean, I get it, right? We have a lot to do, but I'm really feeling the absence of goodbye messages when Rachel Riley is on the cast, because what is season 12 or Rachel Riley without goodbye messages?
Taryn, they didn't even tease, and stay with us on our Instagram. We'll have our extended interview with Zay.
Yeah. Well, come on. What are we doing? If Rachel Riley being back means that you should be reconsidering your strategy when it comes to goodbye messages.
Yeah. Well, Zay told us all that, hey, some people win Big Brother, but how many people can say they came in 17th on Big Brother? Well, it turns out, Zay just became the fourth person to be.
Do we count Luke?
Does Luke count? Yeah.
Did Luke get any placement?
Do you get
what is he comes in
ejected?
0th place? I mean, he was 17th. He was there.
I don't think you place. I think you have to be properly evicted to place. So I don't know.
I agree.
If Luke counts there.
We don't call Justin Seabick the first person evicted. You know, from
you don't say
BB2.
that he's 12th place.
Maybe I feel like you just say he was. We're picking nits here.
Okay, all right. So he's the third person to be the 17th placer.
What an iconic group.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a DNF. He gets a DNF. He doesn't place.
Yeah.
Yeah. The nightmare blunt rotation of the 17th place club.
I'm sure it's someone.
They would actually be pretty fun. But
Listen, someday women will break the glass ceiling of 17th place. It will happen.
Oh, but this is what we need to root for. We need more women placing low.
All right. Should we bring in some questions from the listeners? I think we've got a few here as we wait to find out our HOH results here tonight. And Angel wants to know, if Kelly wins HOH, who would she nominate?
Rachel, and Rachel. If they tell her no, she will attempt to self-evict, and then maybe she'll nominate probably something like Amy and Ashley, or really just whoever Vince probably tells her to, just whoever she can nominate to get Rachel up there.
Do you want Vince controlling that HOH? Do we really want to repeat?
He doesn't want to control it. I'll tell you that much.
No,
I don't think Vince has it in him to control anything. I think that he will just let her go off, and then he'll be like, "Listen, I can't. I nominated her. I can't control what she's doing."
If Kelly had it her way, it would be Rachel herself, and then also Vince, because it was we get ourselves both on the block, and then we both win the BB Blockbuster, because apparently that's how it works, or at least something she thought at one point, and then automatically Rachel goes. That's her dream scenario.
I guarantee you she at least mentions the idea of nominating herself if she is the HOH.
Hasn't been done before.
Just want to do something different.
Coming with fresh ideas.
New ideas. No bad ideas in brainstorming. Okay.
Jimmy, I can see Jimmy touching the block on a Kelly HOH.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Spicy.
He was really you know, he was front of line hyping her up after that win. Like, he was like, oh my God, Kelly girl, you have so many friends. You're so loved. Like, he was all about her. So I that's very, very fun. Like, I'm living to see what this relationship was. It's almost like he was like, oh, this is, I gotta really like grease this girl up.
Let's talk about what Rachel has potentially coming up. Muhammad wants to know, does Rachel need to win the next HOH now that Zay is out? I'll tack on, who would Rachel put on the block now that Zay is out?
She definitely, I mean, her or an ally definitely needs to. She is still a big target for a lot of people in the game. And if she were to win, I think it's an open question. I think she'd definitely take a look at some of the people who voted for Zay to stay. And that could include Zach for sure, though she is technically in an alliance with him. You know, maybe Will gets in a little bit of trouble, but I think he can probably slide out of it. Adrian, I think, would definitely be looking at a block spot, potentially. The fact that she tried to ask him for help and he said no.
I don't want Rachel to go home. Let me repeat this. But like, Rachel going on the block would be a lot of fireworks, and it's just a lot of chances to come off too.
Rob, she's been nominated. She's only not been nominated like twice in her entire Big Brother career.
I think she said it, right?
HOH.
Don't worry. We need at least one HOH before that.
A rare week of safety, not HOH for Rachel this week.
Like Rob, Rachel was safe this week and she couldn't keep it together for the entire week. Like, like we're good. like her being nominated, like, will like destroy the internet. I'm be honest with you.
I missed the obvious, which is Keanu and Kelly. I think would also be big nominees for Rachel.
Okay. All right. Sarah Cupcakes wants to know who's in the best position after this eviction tonight.
I really like Ava's spot. I like Mickey's spot. Morgan won the day, so I like where she is. Zach was in the best position. He's still in a very good position because of his pocket veto, but I'm really liking the like Ava, Mickey kind of situations.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I still don't think Will's in a like terrible spot, to be honest. I think that a lot of people like him, but yeah.
Like,
Ava's my number one, and I love Morgan is playing super well too. And again, yeah, like Mickey, I agree. So,
yeah, Morgan must be thrilled. Zay went out tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I'm concerned about with Morgan is that like, is she going to be setting her sights on Lauren now? Like, maybe. Can
you explain why, Taran?
She does not love the connection between Lauren and Zach. She wants to be able to, at the very least, work with Zach. She has certainly hinted that there might be a little bit of a crush there.
Yeah.
And she feels like Lauren might be in the way of, again, at the very least, working with him in the game.
Yeah. Taran, we don't have to play the song, but was there anything from the feeds today that led up to this vote that was interesting?
If you listen to the update this morning, we talked a lot about Ashley and how it seemed like what is happening here. I did mention some potential alternative interpretations of her actions last night. It seems like maybe those were, in fact, the truth because she did confirm to us on the feeds today that she was locked in for Amy the whole time, which, you know.
Well, what was she doing?
You know, just like talking for hours with Zay and promising that she'll secretly be a vote for him, and then like talking to Lauren and seemingly being like trying to convince Lauren to vote for Zay to stay in a roundabout way. But I think the truth is that she was just trying to seem like she was separate from Amy, and she was just trying to sort of like get the truth out of Lauren is the best explanation I have. And you know, given sort of the way that she's operated in the game so far, and the fact that she was actively looking to protect Zay just a day before, made a lot of people, myself included, think there's a chance she actually might vote to keep Zay. But that was not the case. Will did promise that he would vote to keep Amy, or not promise, but he said he was going to. That's where he was leaning to Ava. We saw that switched up, and we saw Vince kind of realize, wow, neither of my two options that I want to stay are looking like they're going to stay. So I'm going to pivot to the third option, which is I'm going to go to Amy and say that I'll keep her if there's a tie vote, in the hopes that that gives me any goodwill. I don't think we saw him do that, but I assume he did. So, yeah.
The BB Blockbuster being a season-long twist here really makes the gameplay and the conversations interesting, but also confusing, because people are really going to have to not like show their cards in a lot of conversations because they don't know what the final vote is going to be. So they're talking through a lot of different scenarios, and they're afraid of saying too much because they don't know who is going to. They might think that someone is the number one target, and if they win the BB Blockbuster, they're in the house, so they don't want to say too much. So it makes watching the episodes more interesting, which I think is great, because I would love a reason to watch the episodes and get something out of it besides just like laughing at the ridiculous competitions, because we actually can learn things from people's DRs, because people are having these conversations that we're watching and being like, what are they doing? And we're waiting for some explanation of how they really feel about it, that because people are just kind of telling people something for reasons that we can't find out about, because they don't know what scenario they're working with. They're having to bullshit people for a lot longer in the week. So it makes it harder to know for sure what people's intentions are.
And for live feeds, it really makes Tuesday and Wednesday more interesting, because back in the day,
like
literally, it was like Monday, we know what's happening. On Thursday, we're on to the next week already. Homie G or Homegirl G, whichever one it is like already isolated in the house, being like, oh, maybe there's a chance I'll do something on Wednesday. We know you ain't doing nothing on Wednesday. So it's always like, it brings more excitement. Like, you can't like just isolate someone. You have to placate everyone, and things are willing to shift left, right, and center. So I really am excited for love the twist. I'm happy they brought this twist back. And I think just tonight is an example of like how much entertainment and joy and fun things that can come from just having like this unpredictability on a Thursday.
All right. How about some just off the beaten path HOHs that might be fun this week? Yes, AJ?
I love a Jimmy HOH.
I was going to say
that. Yeah, we kind of
oh my God,
Jimmy.
him in the robe. Like, come on. Like, he felt like this week was his HOH. Can you imagine when he actually has the power in the room? It's going to be beautiful.
Be great. HOH-itis, a more than an acute case for Jimmy, who, as Jenny referenced earlier.
Hi, Jimmy.
Julie, you look absolutely mother tonight.
You look mother tonight. Jenny, did
Absolutely
he use that
mother.
correctly?
Of course he did. Yeah.
You look mother?
Honestly, it was kind of like a unique usage of it. Maybe not the way that you're hearing it most often, but I approve.
Okay.
If you can be mother, certainly you could look mother as well, no?
Yeah. I think it works. And I think
I'm legitimately asking.
Pick up.
Like,
I think it's gonna I think that he kind of was setting a trend to come here.
I feel like once you give birth, you have no choice but to be a mother.
Yeah.
On the note of Jimmy, did Big Brother announcer guy call him J-Bone?
J-Bone?
J-Bone.
J-Bone.
Did I miss something, or is this just an original from our guy here? Because okay, I know that the bandana was giving prison Mike, but was like this, like, is he trying to like give him like a prison nickname? Like, what is happening? Since when is Jimmy J-Bone?
I mean, when did Scott become the Virgin King? Like
J-Bone.
I don't know. How do we feel?
I like it. It adds a little edge to Homie G. Like,
yeah.
I think,
Wait,
Homie
I
G.
feel like AJ Bone?
AJ Bone. Like, would you rather be A Bone or AJ Bone?
I like AJ Bone.
I mean,
honestly,
T-Bone is right there, Taryn.
T-Bone.
I hear a lot of Taryn nicknames, but can we
T-Bone
get
is too
T-Bone
easy.
trending?
T-Bone is too easy, I
T-Bone.
think.
Hey, Zay likes it.
I don't like beef. I love eating beef, but I don't like starting beef.
Man, beef was so overused in this episode.
Yeah, that's why T-bone is perfect.
Love it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right.
I didn't know
This
that he
is
was
the new
J-Bone, so.
Next podcast, it's your host R-Bone with
R-Bone.
co-host T-Bone, and we got J-Bone.
I can't be J-Bone. It's taken.
I think I'd rather be like
technically.
Row-bone.
Does Jenny Bone work?
Jenny Bone.
Jenny
It's
Bone?
it's like, oh, I hit my Jenny Bone.
Okay. All right. Anything else from the world of Big Brother 27 tonight? All right. Well, let me tell you, it's going to be a busy 24 hours because tomorrow, after the update, Taran and I will do the BB Q&A, talking about all of the questions. Where did J-Bone come from? And so many more of your questions as we talk through the new HOH and what might happen next week in a busy week 2 of Big Brother 27. Of course, you can hear that in our Patreon feed at robbinswebsite.com/Patreon. We'll also have an exit interview with Zay. We'll get the chance to talk with Zay coming up on Friday morning and ask him anything else that we want to know from week 1 of Big Brother. Also, it's find out why Zay lost. If you want to know more about this, check it out. David Bloomberg is back with Ovi to talk about every single week why blank lost in the Big Brother podcast feed. Be sure to check that out this weekend. And then, Jenny, tell me about the snake.
Okay, so The Snake is a fun new little reality show on Fox. I think it's on Global for my fellow Canadians.
Yes.
And it took a little hiatus this past week for the MLB All-Star Game.
Yes.
But it's coming back next week. And it's actually really fun. It's giving old school reality TV. Chappelle and I have been recapping the season so far and doing exit interviews. I don't know. It's like there's basically the safety chain at the end of each episode. It's social strategy. We've got some old school style villains. I really think it's worth checking out.
Yeah.
And
How are
Chappelle and I
we
have a
on
great time.
episode 4?
Because they took a week off.
I thought
for-
the premiere was before I was even traveling last month.
Yeah, Rob, you basically missed nothing. You were gone for a bit, and you could catch up in like you put this on 2X, and you spend an hour and you're
1
caught
hour
up.
episodes.
Yeah,
Okay.
like 40 minutes, and then put it on like 1.5. You're golden. But Chappelle and I, of course, get way too in the weeds of the strategy about this show. Believe it or not, two messy people like Chappelle and I, we really will just talk these episodes out. And the exit interviews have been really fun. So check out our coverage of The Snake here on RHAP. We've been having a great time. It'll be back next week for episode 5.
Okay. All right. And then over on Chat BCC, all of the great Survivor alumni are still there, including Rachel posting away on Chat BCC. You can get in for free. Go to robswebsite.com/VIP chat. And if you think I'm joking that Rachel is posting there, try me. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So let's make a bet. All right. Taran, what else is coming up for you?
Well, as you know, I wrote a book. It's called Behind the Mirror. I talk about all kinds of fun stuff, including how weird it is that we sometimes watch people sleep. So check it out. You can pre-order it at taranarmstrong.com. You truly are a pulchritudinous person if you pre-order my book.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, Jenny, what else is coming up for you?
Just like we said, covering The Snake over here on realitytv.com with Chappelle. And we'll be back next week. And follow me on social media at Jenny Autumn. And I love y'all. This has been really fun. I'm so glad we're back. And I'm excited about the season. And things are great. This is awesome. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Taylor's asking, drop the screenshots. I hope she's talking about Chat BCC. This person says, how much is a side of Rob? What the hell is going on in the chat? Don't we have moderators? What are we even doing?
You don't want the whole meal? Just a side? Come on.
Gotta eat that R bone.
We need the beef.
Yeah. All right.
Are you the beef or the buns?
As long as I'm not the lettuce.
Yeah.
Okay. And then AJ Bone, what about for you?
Nothing. Good night.
All right, we'll be
love
back
you,
on
AJ.
Sunday night for another recap of Big Brother 27. We'll talk about the HOH comp and so much more. Thank you so much. Great turnout for the live show here tonight. Enjoy whatever happens overnight, and busy Friday coming up here on RHAP. Take care. Bye. This is RHAP. We know reality TV.